What's up, guys? It's Brandon.
And Shaner, and we're taking over the vlog today. My name is Shane. I'm from Gainesville. I was born here in 1986 and somehow never can escape here because no matter how many times I move away, I always end up right back here. See, I've known about NS4L since, I guess, late summer of 2018. I mean, I knew that it was a business, but I didn't know like what kind of business it was. I was, as an entrepreneur myself, I was following Colin on social media and saw that he had a job posted, and I thought that, you know, if anything, I need to kind of like get in here and like pick his brain and just kind of talk to him, and it ended up being like a situation to where I wanted a job here, and here I am. That started August 9th, I believe.
Did you get back to school season?
Yeah, I got in here right as that was all starting to pick up, so like my first couple weeks on the job was like, it was pretty insane, pretty chaotic, but it's cool.
Cool. And what have you learned from Colin since working here?
A lot really, just kind of as far as like being an entrepreneur, you know, like don't ever undervalue yourself. Don't ever, you know, like let someone else determine like what you're worth, and if you believe in your product, you can sell it. And you know, if it's something that you're passionate about, don't ever let it go.
Tell me about some of your hobbies outside here.
Ooh, let's see. Me and my wife own a cookie company, so I guess baking would be considered a hobby. Probably my biggest hobby that completely is opposite of that is tarantulas. I breed and collect tarantulas. I love reptiles. I love all the creepy crawlies, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's probably my biggest hobby is the tarantulas.
How long have you and your wife owned your company?
We started back in 2015. It started really slow. We weren't really sure where we were going to go with it. It started out just as kind of like a little side thing to maybe make a little bit of money and kind of exercise our creativity. People started loving our product. She started getting more into the decorating. I started perfecting the baking side of it, and we decided that it was finally time to just kind of make the push to see if we could make a living doing it. We were kind of derailed. Hurricane took our house from us in 2015, so we went up to Alabama and spent about a year and a half there, and the business was really struggling there, but we still kind of kept it alive. And when we came back to Florida, we kind of hit it full force and have pretty much been non-stop booking since last February.
What's the name of the business?
The Cookie Cash.
Where can people find you?
On Instagram is probably where our biggest following is. We do Facebook too, but Instagram is where all of our followers are. That's where most of our business comes from. Favorite place in the world? I don't know, man. Anywhere that there's a beach, really, as long as I can kind of like get on the beach and like hear the waves and you know, maybe catch some waves. I would say somewhere there's a beach.
I know you said that, you know, before you got the job here that you were following Colin. Mm-hmm. Tell me about some other people that inspired you.
Wow, that's tough. Probably my biggest inspiration throughout my entire life has been my grandpa. He died when I was 17 years old, but leading up to that, he was always kind of the like think outside the box guy, the you know, like fight for your dreams guy, the one that kind of made me feel like no matter what I did, as long as I was happy, was the right thing. And I think that just that presence in that part of my life kind of carried over into my adult life. So I would say that he's probably the biggest inspiration to me.
Who's your least favorite superhero?
Superman.
If you could eat dinner with anyone, I think your dad would be.
Oh, probably my grandpa again. Yeah, just to kind of catch him up.
How about working at NS4L?
Ooh, the culture, the people. It's one of those places where you get here and you kind of understand like why people want to work here. You know, it's like we're all a big family. Everyone kind of looks after each other. Everyone is always kind of there for each other, you know, in the hard times and the bad times. And it's just like it's like the best parts of having a big family. So yeah, I would definitely say the culture here is what makes it worth it. You know what I mean? Every day.
My name is Brandon, and I am from Orlando. Well, technically, I don't really live in Gainesville. I actually live in Fort White, but I mean, I commute here all the time. I ended up here. I've kind of known about NS4O for a while, probably about 8 years, and we met Colin my dad met Colin, and we did Toys for Tots with him about 8 years ago, I would say. And I helped him wrap presents and stuff for all the kids in the hospital and all that great stuff. Or I was looking for a job at the time, and my mom pulled up Colin needed a service writer, so I was like, oh, I'd love to work there, you know, it'd be awesome. Because it's always positive here, and it's really nice to be here, so that's why. Some of my hobbies outside of work, working on my own scooter, vlogging, try to do that. Kind of slack from time to time, but I try. Other than that, I would say weightlifting and a little bit of football sometimes.
Who's your least favorite superhero?
I would have to say probably The Flash. Who inspires me the most? I would say it would have to be my dad. He is always a hard worker. I always kind of strive to be like him because once he puts his mind to it, he gets stuff done. And that's kind of how I want to be.
If you could eat dinner with anybody, living or dead, who would it be?
I would have to say Post Malone. And the reason being is because he's got to be my favorite, I guess, rapper, songwriter, whatever. It's just like, just to like be able to sit there and like chill with him would be awesome. Like, just to pick his brain would be cool. Favorite thing about working here is the people, for sure. Love the people here, and the employees in it, or my coworkers and all that. It's awesome here. And the environment.
Brandon and Shayner, they're two of my rock stars. So they just started this last August, and they've been here roughly coming on 6 months now, 5-6 months. And they had the unfortunateness, I don't like to say that, but yeah, they're service riders, and here at New Scooter Celeste, we answer a lot of phone calls of students and people that just don't quite understand what's going on with their scooter, and a lot of times that's hard to reciprocate from someone who's actually working on it to, you know, delivering that information to the customer. And obviously, when it comes to buying a scooter, everyone's super excited and all the time, you know, it's like, heck yeah, I got my scooter. But that first time a problem happens or you have to come in for service, you know, that's wasted time that people don't want to spend. You know, they don't want to come out and run that errand to change oil or get the scooter fixed. So in that aspect, it is a difficult position because you're constantly explaining and trying to get people to understand why things are happening. But since they've come on, I mean, two of the best, my favorite thing about them is their attitude. Coming in, they're always positive, they're ready to start the day, and it's great. It's so refreshing to work with someone who has a great attitude, and you don't have to be kind of weighed down by that. And it's refreshing, so it lifts everybody up. So, and especially the fact that it's one of the more difficult positions that we have, you know, give them a lot of credit, because you know that goes a long way. I think they're at the right place, and you know, just watch their development. It's going to be amazing. Stick around.